First-degree murder charge laid. Windsor police investigate another fatal case of intimate partner violence. Plus, a multi-million-dollar drug bust.
Resulted in a significant seizure here and removal of these deadly substances.
OPP and Windsor police collaborate on the largest fentanyl bust OPP have ever made. And calls for Windsor's Pride president to step down.
We have our many battles in society of just existing and trying to live our lives without having to fight within our own community to include us.
Backlash after comments described as harmful and misinformed.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us both on CTV Windsor and AM 800. We begin tonight with details on the city's fourth homicide of 2025. Police calling this a fatal incident of intimate partner violence. CTV's Sanjay Maru joins me now to explain the details of what we know during this time period. Sanjay.
Yes, Stephanie. It was around 3 o'clock early this morning when Windsor police spotted a vehicle they say was driving dangerously near Chatham Street East and Goyo Street. Officers say when they pulled the driver over for stunt driving, they noticed the man's face and body was covered in dried blood. Investigators then followed the trail to a home on Langlois Avenue, just north of Lansbury Park, where they found a 26-year-old woman without vital signs. She was rushed to hospital and later pronounced dead. Police have charged a 29-year-old man with first-degree murder and say his name will be released after his first court appearance. Police say this incident underscores the devastating impact of intimate partner violence, which has been declared an epidemic in Windsor and more than 100 other municipalities across Ontario. Now, reaction to this has been pouring in all over social media today, including a statement from Hiatus House, which provides supports and shelter for women fleeing abuse. They point out this incident also falls on the same day as the death anniversary of Lori DuPont, who was killed in 2005 by her ex-husband at Hotel Dieu Grace Hospital. Anyone with information about this, the city's fourth homicide of 2025, is requested to contact Windsor Police or Crime Stoppers anonymously.
And as you mentioned, this is a developing story, and as the details roll out, we will definitely first post them on our website, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Sanjay, thank you for our top story tonight.
Thank you.
We turn now to a joint investigation between Windsor Police and the OPP. Now, Robert Lothian joining us. Now, Robert, this is the largest fentanyl seizure in actually OPP history.
Yes, Stephanie, and that term, that may sound familiar, especially to our viewers. That's because the previous record was just announced in June with the seizure of 38 kilograms of fentanyl. This time around, the two agencies say they seized 46 kilograms of suspected fentanyl worth about $6.5 million in street value. Officers identified two people believed to be primary members of a drug trafficking network, both with ties to known criminal organizations. A 25-year-old Windsor man, Nicholas Kong, is facing 27 charges, and 28-year-old Joshua Aguirre from Vancouver is facing 29 charges. Police searched 4 houses and 3 vehicles. In addition to the fentanyl, officers also confiscated other drugs, cash, and weapons. The bust follows a year-long investigation called Project Rotherham, targeting a major drug trafficking network with ties to organized crime.
Criminal networks are here to exploit our communities and areas within our communities where they believe that there will be financial gain. There was a large seizure here, and we were able to remove that from being trafficked within the community of Windsor and surrounding area.
OPP estimate the seizure keeps about 460,000 street-level doses out of the community, saving thousands of lives. Continuing to make major drug busts, police say, will depend on collaboration with other jurisdictions and legislation to ensure they have the tools needed to stop organized crime.
Okay, good news. Robert Lothian tonight. Thank you for this. OPP are investigating fraud related to RV sales in Tilbury. Police say they have received several complaints from people who had vehicles for sale on consignment or were storing vehicles at a business in the 20,000 block of County Road 42. But when the victims went to retrieve their RVs, they were no longer on that property. Police say the investigation is ongoing and are urging anyone who may be a victim and has not yet reported the matter to contact OPP. Now, we do have an update from police after Unifor Local 195 president says 3 members were struck Monday by a transport truck at Titan Tool and Die. Police say they have closed the investigation at Titan Tool. No charges were laid. The workers have been locked out since mid-August in an ongoing labor dispute about the future of the auto parts factory. The union described the workers' injuries as, quote, not serious, but said they were taken to hospital. Turning now to our monthly Crime Stoppers report, we return to a scam that might sound familiar. CTV's Melanie Kentner and Constable Rick Surratt with more and new information about how criminals are targeting seniors across Windsor, Essex.
Yeah, you may have heard of grandparent scams, but Crime Stoppers is here to tell us the latest. So what's been happening lately?
Well, local police services informed Crime Stoppers that there's been an uptick in grandparent scams recently. Since October 22nd, there's been over 12 reported occurrences in Essex County, with victims losing $70,000 in total.
So that sounds like a lot. And for those who don't know, what is a grandparent scam?
Well, fraudsters target elderly members of the community by calling their landline, and they pretend to be a loved one or a police officer, a crown, or a member of the justice system requiring urgent bail money to get the loved one out of jail.
And how do they operate?
Well, they usually they get background information from the victims, either through social media or through malware or some sort of security breach. And they may even, at times, we've seen where they use voice AI to sound like the loved one, or that they may even use telephone number spoofing, so they're calling from a number that doesn't even exist.
And what's the best way for people to protect themselves?
Well, don't get intimidated by technology that they use, because they are quite clumsy in the way that they use a bail courier. That just simply does not exist in Canada or any democratic society. The use of a bail courier to come to the house for urgent bail money just doesn't exist. So that's a big red flag. But the second thing is, if they call, hang up, call the police, or call a family member to confirm that this is in fact a lie.
And remind us again, what's the best way to contact Crime Stoppers?
Well, you can call us at 1-800-222-TIPS or reach out to us on our website at catchcrooks.com.
Sounds good. Thanks, Rick. And that's your Crime Stoppers report.
Let's take a break to talk about windy conditions, which will continue tomorrow. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins me tonight for our first look at the weather from the Weather Center. Good evening, Gary.
Good evening, Stephanie. Good evening, folks. Northwesterlies and westerlies dominating as I speak, as they did today. And it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, we'll still be fetching right across Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, even Lake Huron, snow and rain. But the good news is the worst of it has moved well to the east of us. And that means we'll be into a bit of a clearing, but those westerly winds still dominate tonight into tomorrow morning. It'll be windy tonight and tomorrow morning, but we may see some sunshine in the week. I'll break that story down coming up.
A potential lockout or strike at the John McGivney Children's Center has been averted. The center says they and the union, representing its frontline staff, OPSU Local 170, have reached a tentative agreement, and both parties remain hopeful that it will be ratified in the coming days. JMCC and their staff support over 3,000 children and youth annually, with services like physiotherapy, occupational therapy, speech language therapy, and autism support. The union previously argued chronic underfunding and low wages made recruitment and retention challenging. Details of the tentative agreement will be shared with members, along with ratification vote details in the coming days. There is upset across Windsor, Essex tonight after the president of the region's Pride organization made comments about transgender athletes that many say were harmful and misinformed. As CTV's Travis Fortnum reports, the backlash has been swift, and there are now calls for her to step down.
It hits a sore spot. I know I'm probably going to get raked over the coals for what my opinion is.
Speaking on AM 800's mid-morning show Tuesday, Windsor Essex Pridefest President Wendy Nicholson weighing in on whether transgender women should be allowed to compete in women's Olympic events. Her take sparking instant backlash online, comments many in the community say were deeply misinformed and harmful.
I was incredibly disappointed that a leader of a pride association would share those views, would even have those views.
Marty Panis is herself a transgender athlete, a cross-country runner, and inclusion advocate. She says she saw Nicholson's remarks and the community's reaction spread quickly across social media Tuesday night.
We have our many battles in society of just existing and trying to live our lives without having to fight within our own community to include us.
CTV News reached out to Nicholson Wednesday but did not hear back. Tuesday afternoon, as her remarks began circulating online, she posted a short statement on social media acknowledging the backlash, saying in part, "I gave my opinion and I do try to speak for the 2S LGBTQIA+ as best as I can." That post was later deleted. Nicholson has served as Pridefest president for at least 6 years, the organization itself releasing a statement calling her comments shocking and disappointing, adding they do not reflect the values, beliefs, or position of Windsor Essex Pridefest. The board connecting with Trans Wellness Ontario and local advocates to guide next steps. Online, many are calling for Nicholson to resign or be removed from her role. And Panis agrees that leadership like this should model inclusion.
My overall view is that anybody who is in a leadership position, particularly for an organization like Pride, should not hold these views, period, because they are there to advance inclusion.
Requests for further comment from Windsor Essex Pridefest went unanswered Wednesday. Travis Fortnum, CTV News.
Residents in Lakeshore have started a petition against the proposed development of Oakwood Park. So far, the petition has garnered more than 1,700 signatures. The municipality says they've received many passionate messages from residents asking the plan to be reconsidered. Mayor Tracy Bailey says the expression of interest process for the park has been paused until council can give new direction. A general information and engagement session is still being held on Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Atlas Tube Recreation Center. Meantime, Windsor's mayor is exploring options to dredge a canal that runs through Peche Island. Low water levels in recent years have caused sediment to build up, and the canal beneath the Legacy Bridge has essentially disappeared. Using his strong mayor powers, Drew Dilkins issued a directive to city administration asking for a report on what needs to be done to protect Peche Island from further erosion. The report will look at the cost, timeline, and feasibility of excavating the canal, as well as consultation with Port Windsor on whether dredged material could be used to raise low-lying parts of the island. Mayor Dilkins calls Peche Island a beautiful park and an amazing outdoor recreation space, saying council needs to know what it will take to keep it that way. He adds that if water doesn't start flowing back into the inland canals, they could eventually turn into wetlands. Peche Island is a 79-acre municipal park owned by the city of Windsor and accessible only by boat. It was once the summer home of distillery founder Hiram Walker's. A group of University of Windsor students are adding to their workload tackling Windsor's opioid crisis. As CTV's Michelle Molesky reports, they are organizing citywide naloxone training sessions and trying to help those in recovery rebuild their lives.
Windsor's opioid crisis is easy to see.
People go downtown. They see that there's people out there in need, but they might not actually know what to do or how to help them.
And the worst part about it is that people complain about it and they don't know what to do, and nobody's going to do anything, so why not me?
Members of U Windsor's Enactus have launched Second Rise.
They all come with 2 doses.
They want to train more people, first on campus and then citywide, on how to use naloxone, a medication that can reverse the effect of a drug overdose. Enactus also wants to mirror what the Canadian Red Cross teaches about stigma for those who consume harmful narcotics.
Where people don't want to help. They think that they shouldn't have to help people who did that to themselves. which is so wrong.
They hope to organize training sessions in the next 2 months.
And knowing how to use Narcan is a perfect start because it can, if someone's having an overdose, for example, they get that you can get that extra few minutes for them until like paramedics arrive and hopefully save a life.
Then, early in 2026, ENACT is rolling out a program to help recovering addicts get meaningful work with a partnership at House of Sofrosine.
So I'm in contact with an individual. She's wonderful. She was saying there's about 7 individuals who are interested in working with us for our pilot program whenever that does launch.
Second Rise is one of 3 projects now underway by Windsor's Enactus. This group is also tackling converting invasive Phragmites into bug-repellent products and sending a team of students to mentor the next generation of business leaders. At the University of Windsor, Michelle Molesky, CTV News.
This takes us to our question of the day. Do you know how to administer naloxone to reverse a drug overdose? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked if you observe Remembrance Day. Out of almost 600 responses, 87% say yes. Email bombshell. Sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's emails surface, tying Donald Trump to shocking new allegations. Details still ahead on Windsor's news leader. Needles clicking, yarn flying. When we return, the cozy mission keeping Windsor's homeless warm. Relentless, painful bullying that's left scars. Tomorrow, why a local master in Muay Thai kickboxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu want to hear your story. That's tomorrow at 6 on CTV News. Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. More trouble for the U.S. president. Damning emails from convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and allegations he spent time with a victim of Epstein's sex trafficking. Here's CTV's Joy Melvin.
The private emails are straight from convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein discussing his relationship with Donald Trump. In 2011, 3 years after Epstein pleaded guilty to sex crimes involving a minor in Florida, he wrote to his now convicted partner, Ghislaine Maxwell. I want you to realize that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victim, spend hours at my house with him. He was never once mentioned, police chief, etc. Maxwell responded, I've been thinking about that. That victim, Republicans say, was Virginia Giuffre, who said she never witnessed wrongdoing by Trump. In her memoir, she described being recruited from Trump's Mar-a-Lago club by Ghislaine Maxwell and trafficked to rich and powerful men, including the former Prince Andrew. In 2019, while President Trump was running for re-election, Epstein wrote author Michael Wolff, taking issue with Trump's claim that he kicked Epstein out of his club, alleging Trump knew about Epstein's illegal behavior. Trump said he asked me to resign. Never a member ever. Of course, he knew about the girls, as he asked Ghislaine to stop. Maxwell, who's reportedly applying for clemency, told the president's lawyer in July she never saw Trump at Epstein's home.
I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way.
The White House accuses Democrats of trying to smear the president by releasing selective emails.
It just shows how this is truly a manufactured hoax by the Democrat Party.
The Trump administration has formally closed the Epstein case, but Democrats hope releasing these emails can force a vote in the Republican-controlled House and get all of the files released. Joy Melvin, CTV News, Washington.
An Ontario couple who recorded a video of their negative interaction with Air Transat staff are being applauded by a small claims court judge. That video led to a court decision in their favor, and it's a cautionary tale for travelers. CTV's Adrian Gobriel now with what exactly happened.
We want to go home, that's all. On March 31st, 2024, Madhu Haridas and his wife arrived at Punta Cana International Airport to check in for their Air Transat flight home to Toronto. The couple were finishing their first vacation away as husband and wife.
We had fun except the last day. The last day?
Yeah.
Not so fun.
Not so fun.
That's because when they arrived at the airport, this Air Transat check-in supervisor refused to check them in unless the couple erased video they had taken of their customer service experience.
I need delete all pictures and all video for check-in.
When they first arrived at the airport, they asked an Air Transat agent where they should line up. Harry Dass's wife was traveling with an Indian passport and a Canadian work permit.
He first yelled and told to stand behind a red line. So there was a red marker on the floor. So when he yelled, immediately we stood behind.
The couple say they asked the agent to stop shouting. It was during that exchange he first refused to check them in.
When he allowed everyone else to check in, that's when I started taking videos.
Then came the ultimatum.
Okay. Deleted all information with meeting your cell phone.
It is a form of extortion or blackmailing, essentially.
Never allowed to check in, they had to purchase expensive same-day tickets with another airline. They took their case to small claims court. In a written decision, an Ontario judge found that Air Transat's conduct was effectively egregious. The judge applauded the couple for taking video, which assisted him in reaching his decision.
There is no right for the airline or any airline employee to privacy that would deprive you of documenting how they are treating you.
As a passenger, you should know your rights before you travel.
Air Transat has declined to comment on the court's ruling.
The small claims court ruling resulted in Air Transat having to pay $7,000 to the couple, who also say their payment included an email from the airline congratulating them on their victory. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Mississauga, Ontario.
Some Windsor seniors are knitting warmth, one stitch, purl, and loop at a time. Members of Life After 50 have been busy crocheting cozy hats, scarves, and mittens, crafting care and comfort for those experiencing homelessness. CTV's Chris Campbell has this story.
The sound of busy hands and good company fills the air inside Windsor's Life After 50 Center on the east side.
Our members come here on a day-to-day basis, working hard, socializing.
Knitting, purling, and crocheting to help keep others warm this winter season.
They still have value, and that's what we believe at Life After 50 is we still need to have an impact in the community regardless of what age we are.
The group has spent weeks needles in hand creating hundreds of hats, scarves, and mittens, all donated to the city's Homelessness and Housing Help Hub, or H4.
2 or 3 people actually learned new skills in order to make this contribution. So we had a person learning to sew, and someone else went on YouTube and learned to crochet in order to make these crafts.
Yeah, it's too thin, eh?
It's important for seniors to grow and continue to learn because it keeps us young.
The seniors say it's a labor of love, one stitch at a time.
I want to make them as well as I would make them if I was presenting them as a gift to somebody. I feel they deserve the best as well as everybody else.
I love it. I love it. I've been here 11 years now, so I enjoy it. I enjoy the company.
At H4, the handmade donations come at the perfect time.
We run out of our winter accessories really quickly, from hats to scarves to gloves, mittens. So this donation comes at a really critical time for us, and we're extremely grateful.
Officials say H4 sees about 270 visits a day, and every hat, scarf, and blanket helps protect people from the cold.
It is really such a showcase of dedication and care from the community to show that, we're all in this together, especially during these colder winter months.
In Windsor, Chris Campbell, CTV News.
The city is hoping to have the new Peace Fountain at the riverfront open by September of 2026, but there is a chance delays could impact that goal. The city says underwater survey work revealed a few surprises that set the project back. In November of 2024, City Council approved a $10.5 million plan to replace the Charles Brooks Memorial Peace Fountain with a new floating fountain, very similar to the previous one. The timing of construction has to align with the moratorium for in-water works due to species at risk. James Chaco, an executive director at the City of Windsor, says it's a complicated project and extra steps have to be taken when working in water, especially in areas that have species at risk. The target date is, again, September 21st, the World Day of Peace. But if that can't be met, the opening would be delayed until 2027. The Peace Fountain was removed in September of 2023 due to age-related maintenance issues. Canada's main stock index was up on strength in the price of gold. In Toronto, the TSX gained 418 points. In New York, the Dow added 327. The Nasdaq lost 62. The Canadian dollar fell 1/3 cent. On commodity markets, gold gained almost $100 an ounce and oil dropped to $55 a barrel. Coming up, lasting driving impacts. Why researchers say don't get behind the wheel of a car even weeks after suffering a concussion.
Let's take a look at our CTV News weather snapshot. Thanks to Dave Flynn for this great-looking sunset image. Just ahead, we'll talk cold, chilly, and windy through tonight into tomorrow morning. Next on CTV News Windsor.
Windy out there, cold too. Gary joins me again for an extended look at the weather tonight. Gary.
It'll still be windy, Stefanie, through the latter stage of this evening into tomorrow morning. Again, windy for the morning and midday, but we'll see some sunshine. It was a bit cloudy today, at least through till, I'd say, about 2 or 3 p.m. Got into some breaks and then a bit more of that breakage overhead as we headed towards dusk. Air quality has been good of late. It continues today. Good low number on that AQI, air quality index, at 2. Like to see that. Wind gusts. Okay. So the big story has been the winds, right? And sustained winds have been in the mid-30s. We've seen gusts as close to 60 today through to about 10, 10:30, maybe even 11. We'll still be in that 45 to 50 range. Temperatures are hovering around 8 to 10 degrees Celsius between Windsor, Essex, Chatham-Kent, Rondeau Park, Erio. Our friends on Pelee Island, hello and good evening to you. A beautiful spot here in southern Ontario. Wind chill makes it feel colder in Chatham-Kent and the surrounds, about 5. Not so much in Windsor, but tonight is going to be a cold one. By midnight, technically tomorrow morning, we are going to feel it because the overnight temperature is dropping down to about -1, feeling like about -7 to -9. National temperatures, single digits across the prairies. Even Vancouver is on the coast there, obviously. 9 degrees Celsius, 6 in Toronto, and 2 degrees in Montreal. There's snow in Ottawa and Cornwall, and the system that's bringing this snow and rain in parts of southern Ontario, in particular from Barrie south towards Toronto, GTA, Golden Horseshoe, and surrounds, is staying to the east of us. Most of the wind straight out of the northwest, and the push continues to be east. So therein lies the clearing I spoke about. Tomorrow's windy and sunny. 9 degrees Celsius, 10 degrees and still sunny. On Friday, winds subside a bit. Cloudy for the weekend, but warming. 13 on a cloudy Saturday, a high of maybe 11 or 12 on Sunday. Showers, about a 40% chance of that. Cloudy still for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Temperatures will fluctuate between 7 and 8 degrees. Hang on to your hats tonight and tomorrow. Still windy, but sunny. Thanks to our friends at Intercare for the 7-day.
Lifetime, brought to you by Safeguard Medical Alert Systems.
A new Ontario study suggests people involved in car crashes should wait before getting back behind the wheel. As Pauline Chan reports, that's coming from growing awareness of concussions.
Dr. Don Redelmeyer is an internal medicine specialist and researcher.
We looked at every adult in Ontario diagnosed with a concussion over the last 20 years. So that's a sample size of around 400,000 individuals.
And what they found was a dramatically higher risk of being involved in a car crash after suffering a concussion.
Patients in the aftermath of a concussion face about a 50% increase in the risk of a traffic crash, a 50% increase.
1 in every 13 concussion patients was injured in a serious car crash. The increased risk accounted for 1,633 ambulance calls, almost 60,000 days in hospital, and $835 million in medical costs.
It's a big surprise. What was even more surprising was just how dangerous the very first month was. That was associated with about a 500% increase in the risk of a subsequent traffic crash.
The study's findings hold not just for those driving, but even former concussion patients who are on the streets as pedestrians.
They also found that the risks grew with the number of concussions a patient had suffered.
I think it's a function of the brain fog, the slowed reactions, the episodes of inattention, the times of confusion that just make it harder to navigate in high-speed traffic. You can even find remnants of it 10 years later, but the most dangerous time is going to be the first 4 weeks.
Bredelmeier says concussion patients are advised to get out of the house and do moderate activities as they recover, but he urges extreme caution whether you're driving or walking in traffic. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
As Christmas creeps closer, volunteers like LaSalle Gives Back and Essex Goodfellows will be on the streets collecting donations for Christmas campaigns.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Thank you.
The LaSalle Firefighters Association and other volunteers will be hitting the streets starting Thursday for the second annual LaSalle Gives Back. The funds support local nonprofits and youth assistance organizations. The campaign runs from Thursday through Saturday. More than $66,000 was raised in the first year of this fundraiser. The Essex Goodfellows will also be out for 2 days collecting donations Friday and Saturday. Watch for them on street corners in Harrow, Essex, Paquette Corners, and Maidstone. All money collected will help the food banks in Essex. Both organizations will be distributing newsletters and accept cash donations. Windsor's Hotel Dieu Grace Hospital is gearing up for a fun evening to benefit mental health care and addiction programs. The big party returns this Friday at the Chicharo Club. The theme for the night is connection, awareness, and philanthropy. The big party is a signature fundraising gala for the Hotel Dieu Grace Foundation, and this year's Table Challenge supports the construction of a new outdoor playground for children receiving care. There are still some tickets available.
So financially, last year we raised over $135,000, and we would love to surpass that this year. What we're hoping for Friday night is to not only raise funds for mental health, but to just get people talking about mental health and to help reduce the stigma that's unfortunately still associated with mental illness.
Why is this coach being handed a goat? Coming up on Windsor's News Leader, the story behind the most unexpected game day gift. Next.
We are on the sidelines with Mr. Bob Belichico tonight. Bob, a lot of high school sports to cover today.
Yeah, lots going on in the high school scene. Let's start with Ursuline College tonight. Last night, I think I witnessed the team that is ready to play for the provincial championships. Chatham's Ursuline College swept aside the home team St. Joe's Lasers in straight sets to advance to OFSA. It's normally really loud at Laser Dome, but not last night. The Lancers went to OFSA a year ago, but didn't make it out of pool play. They sure look ready right now, though. It was a great season for St. Joe's. Don't dismiss that. They were undefeated heading into the SWASA championship.
Our team, just the excitement, it just wasn't there at the last couple sets, but, you know, we won WEXA, and we did all the best we could. We've been working on consistency and playing up to our potential all year. So, and we're bringing a lot of energy. So we hope for the best, and that's it.
You don't want to go on pool play this year?
No, for sure. No, we want to make a run, and we're very capable of doing so.
They sure look good, and so does the Essex Red Raiders, who are hoping to follow suit and punch their ticket to OFSA. The Raiders beat Erie Migration in AA final last week and host Chatham's John McGregor for the SWASA Championship Thursday in Essex. Game starts at 5 p.m. The Raiders made it to OFSA a year ago, but got bounced in pool play.
Great opportunity. We've been here before. We know what it's like. Hopefully we can get on top again. We've played them before. We know how they're like. We have, I think, 6 returning players, so we know what it feels like from last year losing in the consolation finals. So I think that just motivates us to work harder in practice to play better this Thursday and hopefully in OFSA.
So the Spits have another late weekend, a couple of games on the schedule.
Yeah, it's good for the body to rest a little bit. You know, 2 is good, better than 3 and 3. So Windsor welcomes the Sioux to town on Thursday before heading to Guelph on Friday. For the 3rd straight week, Windsor is playing only twice.
I feel like our body needs us sometimes. Like we're always working out, always on the ice and everything. So I feel like 2 games feels good, and then we have the day off after, which is good. And then next week we play 3 and 3, 3 games in 3 days. So it'll be a lot. So I feel like it's good that we have 2 games this weekend.
Now, having a lighter game schedule is helping team trainer Rob Maggio do his thing with players. Maggio says they are now in phase 2 of his program. The first phase helped maintain gains players made during the offseason. Right now, they are in phase 2, which has more power and exercises for hand-eye coordination. In phase 3, he'll decrease volume and maintain minimal amount of strength and power while increasing hand-eye coordination so that the players are sharp on the ice for playoffs.
He's usually just, obviously trying to put on more strength, but just trying to keep our weight. We came in after summer, he wants to keep that.
It kind of gets your brain turned on and gets you kind of reactive. I think it does work, yeah.
You want to make sure that you're taking those phases and that on that 3rd level, that 3rd phase, that they're ready for long runs.
Those look like some intense workouts there, Bob. Okay, so also a lot of excitement at the University of Windsor, the men's volleyball team right now.
Yeah, men's volleyball and women's volleyball actually are doing very well. Both men and women are 4-0 to start the season. For the men, this is an exciting time because they are hosting nationals this spring. Now, last spring, they hosted the OUA final at the Toldo Lancer Center, and it was bumping. Windsor lost to Queens in that game, though. Lancers are ranked 4th in Canada right now, and as hosts of the national championships with a guaranteed berth, they are doing their best not to think too far ahead.
There's a lot of good things that can happen with being in the moment, taking care of practice on a Tuesday night, and bringing it every day. Don't worry about the future, just stay in your present, stay in your spot, one at a time.
It has been a good start. It's early, though, so, we're, as Coach Will Alexander would say, there's only one match on the calendar. And in this case, it's Friday night against TMU.
That game is Friday at the Toldo Lancer Center. Now, switching to high school football, Holy Names dethroned Herman as city champs last weekend. A happy time right there. The Knights stunned the Green Machine with 3 touchdowns in the 2nd quarter and cruised to a 31-13 win. The star of the game was quarterback Stefan Morgan, who scored all 4 of Holy Name's touchdowns. They will host SWASA AAA final at St. Clair's Acumen Stadium Tuesday night. Herman will host the AA final on Tuesday as well.
You just got to approach it with an even greater mentality than you did Wexa. But me personally, I've been there those 2 years that we lost, so I'm really excited to be able to play that game.
We've been preparing since August, and we've been so focused for all these months, and it's finally starting to pay off, so we got to just finish the job now.
Now, the Tecumseh Vista Senior Girls Basketball team got the job done. The Vortex beat North Star to repeat as Wexa champs, and a visitor dropped in to help celebrate. I still can't get over there. Yeah, don't have to rub your eyes. That is actually a goat inside the Sportsplex at St. Clair College. A parent brought the goat to head coach Melanie Cardinal after the game, after they repeated as Wexa champs. Vista is at North Lambton right now as we speak, playing for the SWASA Championship.
It feels great to be able to come back again and see what we can do this year. I don't think we're playing the same team, so it's going to be like we're stepping into something new this year. We haven't played them before.
I think we just have a good mindset this year, and we just really wanted more this year. We learned from what our mistakes were last year, so now we're just here to fix them and do better.
Hopefully they can pull it off. And, hey, we're rooting for St. Anne's, too. They are at Sarnia St. Pat's right now trying to dethrone the 3-time LK champ. And Can I take a minute? Let's take a minute. I
Of
want to say hello to a quick Spitfire fan, Nathan. I met him last week at the game, and he was awesome. So hello, Nathan. And to my fellow Purple Raiders who attended the 155th Assumption reunion. A few of the old coaches watch, and I know they appreciate the segment.
Nice.
And we appreciate them watching it. So thanks, and hello to everybody.
Okay, we have to get back to this goat. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Listen, I've seen some cool things throughout the years. I've seen a promposal after the game, but never a goat.
Yeah. Hopefully they take him out to the grass in case he needs a washroom break or anything like that.
Would be good.
Okay. Bob Belichico with On the Sidelines tonight. Thank you so much, Bob.
You got it.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. If you or someone you know struggles with extra expenses around the holiday season, Sparky is here to help. Registration for families in need is happening this weekend. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kettner. And Melanie, you have more for us on the fallout from the Windsor-Essex Pridefest president's comments tonight.
That's right. The fallout is also prompting questions about representation within Pridefest's own leadership. As of Wednesday afternoon, its website's board page was offline, but the most recently listed board members did not include any transgender people. Advocate Marnie Panas says that alone points to why more representation is needed.
Had they had a diversity of people on their board, they would be able to identify some of these issues earlier on. We need to include voices at these tables that have historically been silenced.
We've got more details at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And we also have an online story about upgrades to some riverfront parks.
Yeah, work started today at 2 parks along the riverfront. Improvements are underway at Assumption North Park and Centennial Park. They will remain open to the public during the construction. The project includes improvements to the riverfront pathway and should be done by the end of December. You can find more details on the projects on our website. And in our social spotlight, a record-breaking bagpipe performance in Australia. Wow, 374 pipers all played AC/DC's classic hit, It's a Long Way to the Top. Thousands of people crammed in the square in Melbourne as they broke the record. AC/DC kicked off their Power Up tour there tonight.
Wow, what a scene, Melanie. It must have been quite an experience to be there.
Yeah, it must have been so loud.
And obviously a great concert afterwards. Okay. And Mel, if some viewers at home want to submit a video, can they do that?
Yeah, you can email it to newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to 10400.
Okay, thank you, Melanie. Common sense, now a thing of the past when we return. What is behind a pending penny problem in the U.S.? A beautiful shot right there. Mm-hmm.
We all do.
Mm-hmm.
And notice how blustery, right? Those winds gusted close to 60 today, Stephanie. And more of the same tonight, at least for the next couple of hours. And then we'll see a bit of a break. Still windy tomorrow. I still believe we'll be in the westerlies, sustained at around 30K with gusts in the 40s, then subsiding towards the late afternoon. But note the sunshine. And a temperature of 9 degrees, up to 10, and still sunny on Friday, 13 followed by 11 on a cloudy weekend, Saturday and Sunday, respectively. Some showers possibly on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 8, 7, and 8 in that order. Cooling off, but that would be seasonal a week from now. So it's November and we're getting deeper into fall.
And it is a good weekend to put up Christmas lights if you choose to.
My tree's already done. There, done.
That's the move. Yep.
It's done.
Okay, obviously Sanjay is joining us tonight, and you were working on a story about a runaway gas pump.
Yeah, that's right, Stephanie. An Ontario man contacted CTV after he says he stopped pumping fuel, but the gas meter kept going, and he continued to be charged. And when he complained about all of this, he couldn't get any answers. So CTV decided to investigate to see what happened. We'll bring you that story tonight at 11.
Ooh, I'm eager to find out. Okay, and today the U.S. will mint its very last penny, a move obviously, Canada already undertook more than 13 years ago. Earlier this year, the American president announced he is halting production of the 1-cent coin as a cost-saving measure. The looming removal of the copper coin from production has caused shortages as everyone from retailers to banks and convenience stores left them scrambling to prepare for the pending penny pinch. The Treasury Department is considering issuing guidance to help businesses navigate through this transition. I feel like Canada went through this. I feel like it happened just yesterday.
And I still feel, though, like I'm still finding pennies circulating. Like every now and then at certain businesses, you get your change and you see a penny and it's like a relic of the past or something.
I have a special collection of pennies and stamps that go back to the early 1900s. Thank you very much.
I remember when this was first implemented, looking back and going to Tim Hortons and then making sure they gave me the proper change back. And now it's like, we don't even think twice about it. Not a penny short. On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And we'll be back with your only late local newscast at 11.
Good night.
Those American pennies will be collected.